I'm Deb Grant. I want to talk with you a little bit about the dance practice I had. A few years ago, I decided to have a daily practice, and my goal was to practice dance every day for a year. And my intent was to find out what would happen, to deepen my relationship with dance, to have a psycho-spiritual movement-based practice that would allow me to drop into what was good, true, and beautiful for me, and to have an opportunity to process or move through things in dance if that's what I wanted. I decided that I would dance for a minimum of 20 minutes a day. I felt like that was something that I could absolutely accomplish, and I did. It took some finagling at times. I certainly had times where I was not enjoying myself or where I was exhausted, and I gave myself, I think, about 4 or 5 days in the year just to not do it. In the 20 minutes to an hour of practice, what I would do is tune in. I often used this journal, and I would just take a little bit of time to write a little bit about what was going on for me, maybe about my movement or my sense of my body, or maybe something else entirely, as a way to focus in. And then I would choose some things that I wanted to hone in on, or some starting place for my movement or my curiosity about what I could bring into my dance that day. Over the course of that year, I changed my relationship with physical pain. I was having a significant hip issue, and it took another year to resolve. But during this time, I practiced dancing with compassion and curiosity about the pain, which really helped me to have a better relationship with it. And I also found ways to move more effectively, and found ways to warm up the way that I used my body, not warming up in the sense of stretching or working on tissue, but in how I actually moved initially. That gave me some integrated movement that, as I brought the energy up, my movement was already integrated. Emotionally, it was a beautiful practice because I got to have a relationship with myself that was intentional. Spiritually, one of my biggest takeaways was my relationship with space. I experienced space as being so alive, and in that particular year, I would say that came online more fully, and that had to do with taking a very curious and engaged approach to the space around me, and knowing that the space around me was also within me. It also impacted my relationship with myself as a witness to my own movement and to parts of me in whatever my trials or tribulations were at the time, and also in my ongoing curiosity about being a embodied being and moving. And I also, physically that year, I would say that my biggest takeaway in terms of what developed in me as a mover was my capacity to modulate between lightness and weightedness, where I could get very fluid and very heavy and be floor bound, and I could become light, and that supported me in turns and jumps. And so a lot changed, actually more than I thought would. So you might be interested in having a dance practice for completely different reasons. But I thought it might be helpful if you heard a little bit about what my practice was. And that did bring me into feeling inspired to bring Be Your Dance to other people, to consider what would support you in having a practice that gives you some of the things and the tools that you need in order to deepen your relationship with yourself, your dance, your life, your daily life. So I hope it's helpful. And register by Sunday night because registration closes at midnight. Take care, and I hope you join me.